Welcome back to The Big Idea. Okay, tonight, some of the bravest guests I've ever had on the show. Military heroes who served America on the battlefield and came home to have brilliant careers in other enterprises. My next guest truly is courage personified. Wounded in Vietnam, then overcame all odds to play a fearless brand of fullback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Specialist Robert Rocky Blyer of the U.S. Army, awarded the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart for his service in Vietnam. In the 60s, Blyer played halfback for Notre Dame and was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. But only months later, he was drafted by the U.S. Army. While in Vietnam, Blyer was shot and received grenade fragments in both his legs. He was told he would never walk normally again. But he fought back from injury to play another 10 seasons for the Steelers and was one of the stars of their first 4 Super Bowl winning teams.
We all know the football story, 4 Super Bowls, but you end up being a successful guy in business where you give these incredible motivational talks. And what were the lessons that, your lessons, I can't fathom what they are, that you've taken into the world?
You know, I mean, those lessons all about teamwork. Those lessons about what makes successful organizations, what makes successful teams, what makes successful businesses. A team being a family unit to a combat unit to a playing on the playing field unit to a sports team. All those ingredients are the same. Some of the lessons are negative. I mean, what I learned from Vietnam is that, I mean, the biggest thing to have an organization between an individual and the organization is that you have to have trust and commitment, 2 aspects that hold it together. If you don't have those 2 key ingredients, well, it's not going to function. In Vietnam, because we were a replacement, I mean, the only core was, you know, to come back home safely. And the other thing is that you have a commonality. I mean, the commonality is that you're in the same situation. You're both in the same situation, you know, no matter how you got there, whether you like being there or not, you're in the same situation, and you're a brother, and you're a veteran. And your first thing is to help another brother, you know.
Okay, we got to take a break. Rocky's sticking around for a minute. When we come back, okay, we're going to talk about all the men and women coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan right now. What do they do now to get their businesses going? Rocky here is going to help them. More Big Idea. Straight ahead. Welcome back to The Big Idea. Okay, tonight we've been talking to some true heroes, military vets who've served America in war and peace and came over to start great companies, but it's not always easy, of course. And right now we're going to talk about something important, how the vets coming home right now from Iraq and Afghanistan, our hero men and women over there, can get ahead in business tomorrow. Rocky Blyer, we've been talking to, a Vietnam vet, legendary star for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is here to help me with that, along retired Lieutenant Commander Chris Hale of the U.S. Navy and President of the National Veteran-Owned Business Association. Welcome. Welcome, sir. So you basically, your company, Victory Media, is all about connecting vets, making the world better. Tell me about it.
It really is. We started, the concept came about in about 3 or 4 years ago. We looked at the number of veterans getting out of the service and how highly sought after they were in corporate America, both as employees and also as suppliers as running their own businesses. And we kind of took a look at these attributes that they possessed. It was amazing. We launched GI Jobs, which is a magazine that assists them in their efforts to get out of the service and find civilian employment. And shortly thereafter launched Veterans Business Journal, which is a magazine for the 3.6
And what's the circulation?
Well, there's 3.6 million veteran-owned businesses in the U.S.
It's amazing. 3.6 million veteran-owned businesses in the country. So this is
right.
important stuff. So what, you've been listening to our show the entire
That's
night,
right.
guys. What, if we are pitching corporate America, not that we should have to, because they've got it, obviously, the best attributes vets in business bring to the table?
Well, certainly leadership is one of them. I mean,
everybody's talked about leadership. What does that mean to a vet?
From my point of view, the leadership is the ability to influence another, the ability to be in a position, and we do that. The ability to be in a position to move forward, to take charge of where you're going to go. To
I understand,
bring
but if somebody at home is got 3 people working for them, or 1,000 people, if they have 1,000 people, they probably know what the answer is, right?
Yeah.
What, and they say, boy, how can I be a better leader? How can I get people to follow me? What do I have to do? What do you say to them?
Well, Donny, I think one of the things the military teaches you from day one is leadership by example. And it kind of goes without saying. Let me give you an example. A Navy deck chief in the Navy may have upwards of 100 sailors working for him. These guys are working extremely long hours, 14, 16, 18-hour days for virtually minimum wage in extremely harsh conditions, and it's a really, really tough job. You can't and I think Glenn mentioned this earlier, you can't incent them with more pay or time and effort, anything
right,
like
or
that.
a little bonus at the end of the day.
It's pure leadership. It's as pure as it gets. And I think military folks live that from day one, regardless of your rank. It's something that's instilled in you from day one. I think another attribute is performance under pressure. Folks are battle tested when they come to the military.
It's a term I hate when in the business world we use all these military terms. I mean, it's like a joke, battle tested. Yeah. You went into those big cereal wars there where the Puffin Flakes were going to beat the, you guys are the only ones that are truly battle tested, but go on, you know?
No, absolutely. And it's one of those situations where entrepreneurs, we call them vetrepreneurs, these 3.6 million.
Hey, you guys did make, we were going to call the show Vetrepreneurs tonight. We thought we were so clever in coming up with that name. But Will Surratt, our brilliant leader, executive producer, I got it, Vetrepreneurs. Duh. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. All right.
No, absolutely. So these vetrepreneurs, they're folks who can perform under pressure, intense pressure, and the way that exhibits itself in the business world is they don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
These are people who they get the door slammed on them 20 times, and they say, you know what, I've had much harder things that I've endured, and I'm going to go forth, and I'm going to get that yes.
Well, I think one of the things about the show tonight is that out of every one of the stories that we're told, there's a commonality. I think that there's strength. And they're all stories, and we all have a story. I mean, there's 3.6 million stories out there. People have taken charge and started their own business. What they've gleaned or learned from the military are what they use in their business. And so it could be a lot of different things, leadership being one, but resourcefulness being another one, integrity being another one, things that are just part of that training.
Well, guys, they're making me break. I wish I could do another 2 hours, and thank all you guys, and I'm going to say it again, I sound like an idiot, but you guys are the only real heroes, frankly. It ain't the baseball players, let's put it that way. So,
but anyway, you're welcome. And what we want to know is NaVOBA specifically.
Okay.
Is that it's gonna be there to galvanize that force out there and to help the veteran come together.
If somebody wants to get in touch with NaVOBA, how do they do that?
Website.
NaVOBA.com. NaVOBA.com.
Yeah, okay, let's put that up there. We'll have that on the website. Vietnam vet and former Pittsburgh Steeler Rocky Blyer and Chris Hale, president of the National Veteran-Owned Business Association. Speaking Deutsch is next. I have some very specific things to say after sitting with these veterans tonight. Don't go anywhere. And Speaking Deutsch, what a privilege it was to sit with these heroes. And an interesting thing happened at the end of every interview. I've never had guests so thankful. Obviously, when I have guests on the show and they're leaving, say thanks, it was great being here. Every one of these guys tonight, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The guys that give the most ask for the least in return and are so grateful for whatever they get. I've never gotten more heartfelt thank yous from these guys tonight, so I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you to these guys. We'll see you next time.